Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and if you want to join the group, DAIXRP.com through the Patreon, or click the join button below any of my YouTube videos. Today, we're going to go over who the Bitcoin Maxi All-Stars are. These are the people that have slandered and libeled Ripple and their executives for years. I'm going to give you the list so you can know who they are. We've been watching a lot of stuff recently. Before we get going, don't forget, if you want institutional custody like I do, if you want an actual person you can speak to about your exit strategy and about keeping your assets safe, if you want actual, real, multiple, if you want liquidity for your exit strategy when the time comes, Caleb and Brown, my affiliate partner, they have all of that. They've got liquidity from all around the world that they have access to. If you want all those things and you want to really be ready for this market to blast off, go to xrpwealth589.com and it'll forward you here to my page on Caleb and Brown. Click the sign up today button. Let's see what we got here in the market. Looks like a 233. Market's kind of flat, 233 XRP. So we'll keep going. Here's the champion of the Stablecoin Act last night, Bill Haggerty.
Senator Bill Haggerty joins us now. He's a Republican from the state of Tennessee. Senator, what did you get out of Trump going to Capitol Hill this morning? I know he was talking to House Republicans, but I'm sure it spilled over to you guys in the Senate.
Well, before I go to that, Stuart, I just want to congratulate you on Varney's win of the Preakness. What an honor. Prognosticators from President Trump's...
Lawmakers just advanced the Genius Act, which would legitimize the stablecoin. Senator, next up, I believe, is your legislation, which is a full regulatory overhaul of crypto. You think we're going to get to... My contact in D.C. says she thinks you might get to that vote on the full bill in the first week of June. Is that possible?
I think it could be even sooner than that. I think we have broad agreement from a policy standpoint between Democrats and Republicans. We had a good evening last night, and I think there are actually a number of other folks that aren't on the bill just yet that will become supportive of it. So I feel very good about where we're going. The momentum is very positive right now. All the feedback I've had since last night has been extremely positive. So we're going to be working at pace this week, Stuart. We might even get it done this week. That would be great if we could.
Can I ask you what the stablecoin would do for our financial system?
Well, certainly it puts our financial system and our payment system more specifically into the modern times. What we rely upon.
Who's been working on a payment system?
On today was designed in the 70s and 80s. This is a chance to completely modernize our payment system to make sure that the innovation that's happening around the entire industry stays here in America. And importantly, Stuart, because the stablecoin is dollar denominated, that will perpetuate the dollar's position, dollar's dominance as the reserve currency of the world. And it will also increase demand for treasury bills here in America, which is a good thing as well.
Can you explain that? I need to explain that. Why would it increase demand for treasury securities, treasury bills and bonds?
Because the stablecoin legislation requires that each dollar stablecoin be backed fully by either a dollar in cash or short-term treasuries. To do that, the stablecoin issuer has to go and purchase short-term treasuries. Already, stablecoin issuers are large owners of treasuries, and by 2030, Citi projects that stablecoin issuers will be the largest owner of U.S. treasuries in the world.
Do you envisage the day when I can go to my broker and say, right, buy me X number of stablecoin and keep it in my account?
Absolutely. You'll be able to do that almost instantaneously. And again, the payment system is there. We just need to give a legal framework for it to thrive here in America. Otherwise, we'll see what's been happening. It's going to keep moving offshore. This is a better way for us to protect consumers, and it's certainly a better way for us to make certain that America remains the hotbed of competition and innovation in this space.
It seems to me that would be this is a big win for the crypto business, but I'm surprised to see Bitcoin and Ethereum actually losing a little ground today. But Senator, no, go ahead, sir.
No, I was going to say, if you think about it, this is great for dollar dominance as well.
Once they pass the regulation, those liquidity spigots are going to turn on. Senate advances the Crypto Genius Act with 66-32 vote. Next up, final senator floor vote, possibly as soon as this week. So he's talking about on the Genius Act, the actual Senate vote. Look at this. This is interesting because we've got Ripple, Coinbase, Circle drama. Dom from Easy A. These guys will be at XRP Las Vegas, and they're going to have $25,000 in prizes for builders and developers. Go to xrplasvegas.com to get your tickets. Did Circle call its buddies, Coinbase, to create a bidding war and drive up higher price from Ripple? After all, the two companies are good friends. They co-founded the Center Consortium together in 2018, which is responsible for issuing USDC, and their business are closely interlinked. Coinbase receives the majority of Circle's interest revenue, 50 to 100%. Coinbase is the dominant distributor of USDC. If Coinbase was serious about acquiring Circle, a deal would likely already have been made, in my opinion. That's interesting. This is too. Michael Saylor, once you all have Bitcoin, I'll go back to the future. And I said Bitcoin needs a lot more than 1.21 gigawatts to run the network. XRP fixes this. Folks, there are no coincidences. The ETHgate players are some of the same people. The ETHgate, and then you got Bitcoin. ETHgate gave Bitcoin and Ethereum the free pass. Bitcoin plus Bitcoin Maxis trying to maintain their monopoly with Senator Loomis' help equals all the same crew. Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, her contributors, Andreessen Horowitz, Multicoin Capital. I'm not going to play the video, but you remember this bombshell when we played this guy, right?
Well, it's a very good way for...
Right here. That is Kyle Samani. He and his partner were the ones, Tushar Jain, they were the ones that were bragging about shorting XRP and had limited partner. They're from Multicoin Capital. They had limited partners in Union Square Ventures and Andreessen Horowitz. And both of those companies were the ones involved in the meetings that eventually became the Ethereum free pass speech from Bill Hinman. They just happened to be both contributors to Senator Loomis. This is Will Cole. He's famous today. She had done this tweet. This guy says, "Isn't this your mother-in-law?" He says, "Yes." So Will Cole, I said, credit to Cowboy Crypto for exposing Senator Loomis' son-in-law, Will Cole, for calling Ripple a fraud and a scam and accusing them of securities fraud. Those are serious allegations. Are they liable or liable? Meanwhile, his mother-in-law is working on digital asset regulation. Scandalous. This is him. This whole ordeal surfaced something I had completely forgotten about. Yes, XRP Ripple is a centralized joke of a scam. Security fraud is the least of the issues. Now remember, they weren't even accused of fraud by the SEC. And now they're about to come through the lawsuit. It's about to be settled, and there were no accusations of fraud, but he's accusing Ripple of being a fraud and a scam. Not very smart, especially for a senator's son-in-law. This is Max Kaiser's wife. She's also a Bitcoin maxi. She says, Ripple tried to trick President Trump into establishing a shitcoin reserve to dump Brad's pre-mined bags onto the American taxpayers. And now Ripple has found out. And I said, you clowns have been lied to, with the Homeland Security video where they met with the 4 Satoshis. Remember that? And then this lady right here says it like it is. A fast, smart payment rail system demands more infrastructure than Bitcoin or XRP alone can provide. The tribalism fueled by uninformed maximalists needs to stop. The future is multi-chain, and sooner we all realize that, the sooner we can have nice things, do better research. I agree. Like I said 1,000 times, I want Bitcoin to do well, Ethereum to do well, Cardano, ADA to do well, XRP to do well, XLM to do well, XDC to do well. All of them. I want them all to do well. But I want them all to do well in a free market where nobody has a regulatory monopoly, and we have a level regulatory playing field. That is all we've ever wanted. And instead, we've had to fight all these nutcases.
Say that it is
new SEC chairman.
It's a new day at the SEC.
A new day.
I'm determined that we return to our core mission that Congress set for us more than 90 years ago. The SEC's 3-part mission, as the chairman stated earlier, was enunciated by Congress in the Exchange Act, and that's investor protection, which is vital to our mission, holding accountable those who lie, cheat, and steal. Capital formation is also at the root of what we do, fostering a direct economical route for investors' capital to find its way to entrepreneurs and industry to create products and services. And the third core part of our mission is maintaining fair, orderly, and efficient markets. Congress calls on the Commission to ensure that our regulations balance costs and benefits, that they do not become too burdensome by adding needless friction to the marketplace, thereby undermining the capital formation that yields so much benefit. My time in public service and in the private sector has allowed me to see firsthand how regulations affect markets and investors. They can stoke innovation, facilitate investment goals, and create opportunities or burdens on businesses' ability to compete and to serve their customers. How we implement regulations at the SEC is crucial. It's one thing to write a regulation, quite another for it to achieve its intended goal. Regulation should be smart, effective, and appropriately tailored within the confines of our statutory authority. A key priority of my chairmanship will be to develop a rational regulatory framework for crypto asset markets that establishes clear rules of the road for the issuance, custody, and trading of crypto assets while continuing to discourage bad actors from violating the law. Clear rules of the road are necessary for investor protection against fraud. Policymaking will be done through notice and comment rulemaking, not through regulation by enforcement. The Commission will utilize its existing authorities to set fit-for-purpose standards for market participants. The Commission's enforcement approach will return to Congress's original intent, which is to police violations of these established obligations, particularly as they relate to fraud and manipulation. The SEC is returning rulemaking to regular order. Our comment periods will not be artificially short, and the public will have ample time to provide feedback. The SEC will also be sure to take into consideration how rules overlap and how regulatory burdens build, in keeping with our obligation to consider their costs and their benefits. There will be targeted, common sense reorganizations to come at the SEC. To start, I'm seeking approval from Congress to disband what's known as FinHub. Its innovation should be ingrained into the culture SEC-wide and not limited to a relatively small office. We've begun a process to review our technology infrastructure and our contractual obligations. So to close, we will work with our colleagues in the administration, especially other financial services regulators, and with Congress to bolster the economy and build on U.S. leadership of the global markets.
What a breath of fresh air that guy is. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com, the Patreon. I got a lot more, and I'm going to give you that list of the Bitcoin Maxi All-Stars. And these are only the people who have either called Ripple or its executives scammers or frauds, or accused them of fraud. This is the list, and I'll bet you dimes to donuts that Ripple keeps that list. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.